Over 100 nurses and other staffers are suing a Texas hospital for mandating the coronavirus vaccine. Back in March, Houston Methodist Hospital made its policy very clear. All employees must be vaccinated by June 7th or risk termination. As that deadline approaches, non-vaccinated workers aren't backing down. Instead, they're fighting back with a lawsuit, which claims that since the shot has yet to be FDA approved, Methodist Hospital is, quote, forcing its employees to be human guinea pigs as a condition for continued employment. Joining me now is lead plaintiff Jennifer Bridges and attorney Jared Woodfill. Thanks so much for joining me tonight.
Good to be with you.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit why you are undertaking this lawsuit and why this is so important to you, Jennifer.
This is very important. We're basically fighting for everybody's rights right now just to make our own decisions. I mean, nobody should be forced to put something into their body if they're not comfortable with it and then lose their job over it. I mean, that's a huge decision, especially over emergency use authorization.
Mm-hmm. You know, one of the things that I think a lot of people are concerned about here is we obviously know that the vaccines work, that they clearly have passed a number of different tests in order to work, but we also have more long-term concerns that many people have, including women who are trying to get pregnant or other concerns about, you know, the level to which this has been accelerated. In terms of your argument as a nurse for why you would resist taking this or why you don't feel like you should have to as a condition of your employment, what do you say to your friends about this issue?
Well, basically, I think everybody should be entitled to their own choice. And if you're comfortable taking it, go right ahead, but you need proper informed consent. Nobody's telling these people the exact risk that are involved, and there is no long-term data right now, nothing under research. Mm-hmm. And basically, just being in the hospital, I've seen so many adverse reactions through patients and employees that have been fully vaccinated, and it's too risky. Mm-hmm. It is way too risky, and everybody needs to know those risks before they inject it into their body so they can make a good informed consent decision.
On the legal side of this, tell me a little bit about the argument that you're advancing regarding the type of defense that you can mount for these many individuals who don't want to be forced into this situation.
Well, you know, Ben, for the first time in our history and the history of our country, we have a private employer here, Houston Methodist Hospital, is saying that if you want to continue to work here, if you want to continue to enjoy your salary and all the benefits that you've accrued and acquired over the years, then you're going to have to participate in a vaccine trial. And that's exactly what it is. It's a vaccine trial. They're saying you're going to have an experimental drug injected into your body, a drug that we don't know what the long-term side effects will be or what it will look like. And that's a condition of employment. Essentially, they're saying to these employees, people like Jennifer, who are on the front line every single day, if you don't serve as a human guinea pig, we're not going to be able to pay you. And what does that mean? It means you can't provide for your family, it can't pay for your mortgage, and all likelihood you're sentenced to bankruptcy court. So I believe it's illegal, unlawful, and clearly immoral.
Well, one of the big things that I think has been unfortunate about this pandemic is that we've seen how many people have been willing to go along with everything they're being told by government without really raising any questions about it or having any kind of hesitation. I'd like to ask you both, Jennifer, you first, just does that concern you? Because this seems to be part of that whole element, changing the relationship between employers and government and those who work and live under their rule.
Yes, it is. It's a huge thing right now. They're not giving the proper information like they should be out to the public, and everybody's just so trustworthy. But there's quite a few individuals like myself that are challenged that because we want the research. Mm-hmm. We want to know for ourselves that something is safe before we put it into the body. But a lot of people out there, unfortunately, you know, they trust the government, they trust the media, they trust everybody right now that's telling them it's safe, you need to do this, and they don't know any better until it's too late. And I've come across that so many times, and it's so unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. Jared and Jennifer, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to join me tonight.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you so much.